One. Ah! Oh, he's delayed. We need to get better in sync. You got to anticipate screaming ahead of time. You know what I mean? So that it.
Well,
cuts
you also
it up
didn't
to
count
me.
us down. You said 3, 2. So
Right.
I was like trying to count.
That is a
I was
count.
still at
That is
1.
a countdown. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome. Hey, we're the Sonic Movie Show for now, and we're reacting to the Sonic Movie 3 trailer number 2. My name is Ethan.
For now.
And for now is Devin up there. He might get replaced. That's part of our big announcement. Come next year is
finally
you're out of here,
fired,
bitch. Yeah, you never show
my quote
up.
Is my quote is we don't want to fight you, which is from the last trailer.
Oh, right. So today we're watching a YouTube video titled Sonic the Hedgehog 3 /official trailer 2 (2024 movie). Ben Schwartz, Jim Carrey, Keanu Reeves. You can download this yourself if you'd like, or you can watch it on YouTube at the channel Paramount. This is Sonic.
Great fans of that one.
Sonic Movie 3's second trailer. We have not seen it yet. However, I did see a picture.
I did also see a picture. I'm not gonna say what it is in case they're two different pictures.
I have a feeling it's the same picture, but
it's like the first thing I saw on Twitter, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot it dropped this morning. We were doing that later, and I'm like, cool.
Well,
I'm hoping there's more in this besides that picture to get excited about. So
the picture I saw would have been enough, but I always want to see more. Yeah, the movie's coming out on I don't know when does it come out?
December 20th.
20th.
Because I guess what? I'll say this. I got my tickets. I got my tickets.
I got it
Thursday at 7:30 Mountain Time.
I gotta figure out what the theater situation is up here.
And I'll just say, because of our bet of Mufasa versus Sonic, I'll just say I looked because Mufasa tickets also dropped, and they have a lot more.
You also live on
screenings.
A mountain, so like no one's really up there.
You
it's a smaller pole to pull.
But I expected that, to be fair, because they're gonna see who does well, and I'm sure Disney has exclusive rights for like the premium ones. Because there was the fan event I was looking at, but it's at 3 p.m. and I'm like, bro, some of us got to work. Okay, we can't be going at 3 o'clock.
Okay, you can call out if it's a fan event. If you're a fan, you show up. I mean, that seems pretty obvious to me.
I guess.
Yeah.
I also wasn't sure if it was going to cover under my AMC Stubs thing either. But whatever, doesn't matter.
Hey, they got like a semi-normal looking popcorn bucket this time around. It's just his head. Sonic's head.
kind of basic.
I wish they went back to the fucking cylindrical tin. Personally. Because
I mean that's the whole thing now. The movie
them.
theaters and studios
they all have
are
to
realizing
I have,
but some of them aren't good though. Some of them aren't even good gimmicks. Aren't good.
Well, what movie's coming out that has a giant hammer? Yeah, as its thing with a long ass handle. Like what? Shut up. And the Wolverine one was stupid, and the Alien one was stupid. They're all stupid. Now everyone's got to be this 3D modeled thing. I liked my Fast and Furious one which was 3 with tires. No, that one was stupid too, Devin. I'm sorry.
No, it was great.
That was stupid.
I wanted it, and I
almost called it a slur. That's how stupid it was.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, I mean, I'm not a fan, so I'm sure, you know. Anyway, hey, I guess I'm a little bit of a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 official trailer 2024 movie. Ben Schwartz, Jim Carrey, Keanu Reeves. We're gonna watch it today. First question before we hit play. Do we think we're looking at Knuckles here, or is this supposed to be Shadow?
That's Knuckles, 100%.
Because
he has purple eyes. He has purple eyes, and he's red. What if this is revealing that Shadow's actually an echidna in some weird form? And that'd be really disappointing. But what if that's actually what they're about to show? It's just going to be like, actually, he wasn't in the test tube at first. He actually was. Knuckles is like twin brother who was lost or something, and now No, I think it's Knuckles. It'd be weird. I don't know.
I just see like the mascara at the edges of the eyes, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like a Knuckles thing. Maybe it is. Maybe it's their big, rebrand. He got into Hot Topic for the third movie, but like not in a cool way, in like a traditional Hot Topic way, which is not cool to us, cool to them. I mean, hit play.
I don't know if Hot Topic was ever cool, personally.
Well, there's some ironic stuff you can get there, which you can then present as cool, right?
Yeah. I mean, I went there, but I didn't think it was that cool. Still, I was like, this is lame.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a stretch here. We're gonna hit play. Okay. You can see my mouse. At least on
he has a mouse, folks.
I have a mouse. Actually, fun fact. I was trying to edit. I don't know if it was a podcast or something. I was so mad. I think it was a podcast and thumbnails at the same time, and my mouse was just like chugging. It wasn't like it wasn't 1-to-1 with my movements, and I was so mad. I was like, am I about to spend $50 on a really nice mouse on Amazon? And I'm like, hold on a second. This YouTube video I'm watching is also buffering. Why don't I restart my computer? It was the computer. My pink mouse I bought on a stream 4 years ago still is working. This garbage mouse that I did buy.
Sometimes cheap is actually good.
Yeah.
When it comes to that kind of stuff. But
you know what? It's not cheap. the stream, like and subscribe. We're gonna hit play in 3, 2.
Here we go.
That was Knuckles, I told you.
Those are all Shadow.
What is
Oh.
this den of madness?
Are you Detective Pikachu?
He
Nice.
does look like a Pokemon. Pika Pika.
Pokemon reference? Wow. Pokemon exists in this
What?
world. That's crazy.
Get down.
It's time, Shadow.
It's time Shadow. Oh, so they're
have
they're
our
connected.
revenge.
That confirms
But
it
what
then.
good is a
That
dastardly plot?
throw our,
Conspire with family.
theories out the window.
There's 2
Right.
Eggman now.
Double your villains, double your fun.
Any last words?
Nice magic marble. Real scary.
The black
Actually,
hole.
it's real scary.
And they play Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun during this part.
Tom, Maddie, we need your help on a super... Knuckles, do you mind?
Oh, excuse me.
Tom, Maddie, we need your help on a super dangerous top
guy's
secret
funny.
mission.
When?
I love his outfit too, the donut.
We were born ready.
All right, boys, try and keep up.
Come on, Granddaddy-O. We've got
The Shadow is teaming up with them, then, at least in part.
Shadow's powered.
We can rule humanity.
Wow, they're showing a lot,
There
dude.
won't be anything left to rule. That is.
Yeah, we totally got this wrong.
Somebody
Yo,
better call
let's
Google
go.
Maps.
Okay.
Let's go. We're blowing up the fucking moon.
Remember to listen to your heart. You're gonna make the right choice when it matters the most.
And the
Yes.
gun.
Wanna head
That-
down to another
that's what I
quiz?
saw, yeah.
Highlights.
The more you talk, the harder I want to hit you.
That's a quote for a
This
future
ends
episode.
now.
Our
Wow.
destiny awaits.
It's
Oh, we're getting
a
world
version
ending.
of the arc.
You were right about one thing. This ends now.
And they're like escalating this.
Huh.
Huh.
Christmas. They showed that on Twitter. I think that's like
Yeah.
him telling a flashback about how he always loved his grandfather or something like that, and that's supposed to be him as a kid, you know. What I want,
is funny.
honestly, is them to do the George Lopez show where it's just their big heads, adult heads on the little kids' bodies whenever they do the flashbacks.
Yeah,
on that
yeah,
show.
yeah.
I'm gonna play it again. Why don't we play it again?
One more time, and then we could
Yeah,
do
yeah,
a-
yeah.
talk about it.
It's
yeah.
hard to hear them a little
Here we
bit
go.
while also
Showtime.
talking. They call it Chow Guard.
This den of madness.
Are you Detective Pikachu?
He does look like a Pokemon. Pika Pika.
Konichi, what?
Eh.
Get down.
It's time.
Oh, they do the arc. Okay, I noticed that the arc.
We will have our revenge. But what good is a dastardly plot if you can't conspire with family?
There's 2 Eggman now.
I'm gonna say my prediction.
Double your fun.
Yeah, hold on to it.
Any last words?
Trying to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Nice magic marble. Real scary. That actually is real scary. Trick shot.
Do you think that thing is just going on forever, or like does it eventually stop?
Tom, Maddie, we need your help.
It's just
on a
there
super-
forever.
Knuckles,
Eventually, just gonna
do you mind?
engulf the earth.
Excuse me.
Tom, Maddie, we need your help on a super dangerous top
They
secret
look
mission.
shinier.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you ready?
I don't
I'm
like
okay
the
with.
Donut Lord outfit.
We were born ready.
I'm just a hater on things I like.
All right, boys.
mean, yes.
Try and keep up.
Like better things.
Come on, Granddaddy-O. We've got
Dirt to do.
with Shadow's powered.
We can rule humanity.
So he's spinning up
We're done.
something.
There won't be anything left.
I think he's powering up the
Right.
laser.
Dark.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yo,
better
that's-
call
that's-
Google Maps.
It is
I know it's
wild.
stupid,
Choices
but just
we
some hype for the moon being
Remember to listen to your
destroyed.
heart. You're gonna make the right choice when it matters the most.
One head down to another. Who does your highlights?
The more you talk, the
I
harder
missed
I
that
want to
other
hit you.
guy.
This ends now.
Our destiny awaits.
It's crazy.
Yeah, the scale of this is a lot bigger. We criticized them
This
for the second
ends
one being like,
now.
hey, we want it to be a little bit bigger.
Right.
And we're getting it. We're getting it. I did see a tweet about this too, of saying like, Jim Carrey like probably was the one who pitched that idea.
Very
Like,
very well could be.
Den of Mad.
I pause and go. That's a good spot right there.
I love how happy they are. The chow.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we should do for a review. We should actually show up in these giant outfits.
Oh my god. I mean, they look pretty
This kid looks
elaborate.
real too.
I know, it's crazy. They got real
See
people in this.
now, do you think that like these like shirts and merchandise are like something you could buy, like in real life?
Maybe on the Sega store they'll drop it at some point, and be like, "Yes, you liked those shirts? Don't worry, kids, we got them." Ask your mom for next Christmas or
I
whatever.
like how this head is actually. This looks fake. This one looks like you could buy it, but this looks fake. Where it's just a plain yellow rigid ball cap with a palm that looks like it's a solid object just glued to the top.
Yeah.
Skip forward. So it's the same drones from
That
Sonic
looks so
2.
good.
Um,
The drone there just looks like we've talked about this, I think, in one of our episodes, or maybe past time we did a reaction of like, or no, I think it was when we were playing Knuckles, not Knuckles, Sonic's X Shadow Generations. Someone was talking about like, well, what do we think about the Sonic like design in the newer one, and how like it'll always be slightly changed every movie because they're finding new ways to get more of maybe what their original vision was, right?
right.
But yeah, like just even the drones look just like they looked good in the first movie, but they look even better now. You know what I mean? Like they definitely have.
Yeah.
And now they're not afraid to like make it a little bit more cartoony because at this point you can. You know what I mean? You're not. You're not doing the first movie where like, hey, how much of actual Sonic are we gonna Sonic, cartoonness are we gonna put in this movie? Now they're like, yeah, we can up the ante, for sure. But I like how shiny they are. I will say this though. What we see in this trailer might still be changed by the time what it looks like in the movie. So maybe they won't be
True.
as shiny. Any color grading you see might be changed slightly.
To me, whenever
I
anything
like
that
the color
happens,
grading right now.
it
But
feels a little like they lied. Like obviously, some scenes get cut, or like they use a part of a cut scene because that emphasizes the tone of a trailer better. You know what I mean? I get that stuff, but like what you're saying, like, well, if I went into seeing Wicked and I was expecting it to look like, let's say, the original Wizard of Oz's Technicolor, but then the actual movie was really desaturated, I might be, upset at that, But I just want to say this shot looks pretty dope.
also, I'm saying I like the color grading in this one. To me, this is what like when I was in Japan when it was at night. This is what it looked like. But also, it has a little bit of that. You see that like purple hue they're adding. I think they're really tying that with Shadow, like just in general. That he has like that almost cosmic kind of color to him, which I really dig. I do like that purple, and you got that little bit of that blue too in there.
I want to see the designer on this movie that drew this and was like, how believable do I need to make the math jargon make sense? You know what I mean? Like how much, But then also the fact that it's drawn to also look like a schematic is funny as well.
It's like a blueprint. Yeah, it's
yeah.
I like the detail on it.
Seen this shot before, or at least a version that looked like that. Same thing with this one, but
I love the skating, by the way. I don't know if they
Yeah.
showed that in the first one, but I do love that skating. They did a great job of. It looks just like from the game, so that's good.
yeah. I'll actually say it looks better than little critique when you mentioned this. Sonic or Shadow Generations. I did not like his run animation. And his boost is just and he's just zipping, which also looked lame. I still prefer Sonic Adventure 2, him running. But this movie definitely is getting the tone of how wide should he be swinging his arms and moving his body. You know what I mean? Like
He's like ice
there's
skating, basically.
there's a dorky threshold you can cross where it's like, all right,
Right.
come on here, It's hard to
yeah.
tell if. So he says there's two Eggmans, but like it's hard to tell if they're in the same like when he drops the black hole thingy, like that one, him like doing his like snort or whatever, Eggman's thing. It's hard to really tell. Oh, this is a good image too. Maybe
That's
I'll take
Lighting's good
this
there.
and put. I'm just gonna a little peek behind the curtain here.
Do a little snipping tool.
I'll find it later. Because that's a good one. It's hard to tell if Jim Carrey's
42-second mark if you need it again.
It's hard to tell him if his reaction to this is like.
I think they're gonna come out. I think they come out first. Probably they do their
But do you
monologue,
think Shadow
and then they're
is
gonna as they walk
up
up.
right now, or do you think he was a
Yes.
third party to this?
No, I think he says. I think maybe he doesn't say it, but to me it looks like they're in the same. Everything's in the same scene. I think they probably do a cool walk away thing, and they're like, "Shadow will take care of you," and then.
I agree that they're in the same scene, but my question is whether or not like were they here to stop Eggman and then Shadow showed up, or the other way around, and like this
I
is
think,
maybe before their team up with Shadow, because remember Sonic has to team up with Eggman.
No, I think they're teamed up here. I think this whole trailer
You know
we're
what?
seeing is them teamed up in general.
Here's
like,
my prediction.
Every scene they're showing.
I think the Sonic and Eggman team up happens before Eggman meets his grandfather, because I think then that's the like, okay, no, here's what we're actually gonna do. I think that's that part. So anytime, where we see Jim
I can see
Carrey's
it being
together.
afterwards, because even there's a line here where
but
Eggman says
Eggman had full hair, and then he had it shaved off. It's like we were
right here.
introduced. We're introduced to Eggman with the team up. It feels like.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Anyway,
So what if the movie opens with them like finding Eggman again?
oh yeah,
Now
what
that I
if it's
think about it.
unrelated to Shadow is the reason why they're going there? It doesn't feel that way. I could see it being like we're introduced to Shadow in his flashback, and then we're introduced to Sonic and how the juxtaposition. How
So maybe they're not
happy
even
are.
teaming up, but they just capture him basically, and then Shadow goes and breaks Eggman out, and then he meets.
No, they definitely say
Shadow
we need
brings
your
them to-
help. So I think that they go to fight Shadow, realize, oh, he's too powerful. We need some help, and they immediately we are the distance in time between them fighting Shadow at the beginning, that first trailer, and then them meeting Eggman, I think is very minimal. I think they go straight there, because I don't think we're stuck with Eggman and Sonic together for very long, because I think they want to have.
I think it's got to be a late act thing, but I mean it feels natural, but I guess not. But based off what you're, I agree with what you're saying with his hair.
He's
but
got. He's
I don't
right.
know.
He's got to like. We're seeing a lot of stuff with him and Gerald where it feels like that has to be second and third act stuff. You know what I mean? Which means chronologically, and if you, I don't know if you saw that behind the scenes thing. Lee Majube actually shaved his head. Like that wasn't a wig. It was real hair that he.
We appreciate the
Jim Carrey grew out all that hair just to shave it off in one take.
Yeah, I was gonna say we appreciate the method acting of really, getting into that character and shave his head off. But I think at this point they are teaming up. I think what probably this scene is because they're not there right there in that one frame. They're not there anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they do their monologue and be like, "We finally got you," and now our hedgehog, is gonna finish you off basically, and Shadow is just being like, "I'm gonna send you to the fucking Nether Realm," or whatever he's doing with that cube, or not that cube, that circle or whatever thing.
Little ball, the golden snitch.
And they walk away and they think it's over. Kind of like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a trope, right? Where it's like the villain thinks they kill him off,
right? Because we have to prolong things, Hey, so I wanted to pause this to look at his outfit and whatnot, but I noticed something down here. And there's no way this is
version
there's
of him?
no way this is a background object that has nothing to do with a joke. I think this is supposed to be him. I think it's supposed to be.
I can't tell if it's a puppet
Marsden.
or just like a pillow of his head. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of in an awkward spot. I can't tell if it's just his head or
this
his
is
like.
naturally making a shoulder shape for me, and but that's not a foreground.
What are they building, by the way? Looks like they're
Oops.
building. Because we saw them go to London at one point, so I wonder if they come back. And that looks like maybe that's some. I don't know what that is though. That's not the Colosseum, is it? No.
Is that supposed to be a boat that they're putting on top?
So I'm wondering if it's because like I've seen these at like gift shops in like
Yeah.
touristy places where you build the thing of the museum you went to or whatever,
It's always
which is cool, but
way overpriced for.
overpriced, right? But like I'm wondering if that because I also see the bread. There's a lot of bread and stuff.
Why would she be wearing an apron if it wasn't like a thing involving food?
Yeah, there's like I wonder if they're doing like a
Is this a gingerbread house?
are they doing like a
Quick.
cookout? But there's also a puzzle there.
Yeah.
And then what is this here?
You know
on the
what?
Left?
Okay, here it is. Here it is. I'm going to tell you this right now. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, the boys, their boys, right, have been away for a while because of things, and they're just naturally away from home more often, and they're having a midlife crisis, and this is all of their hobbies.
That'd be funny. I can
bet
see
this
it.
is a ventriloquist puppet. I bet he has a stupid joke gag with the dummy. That's my thing. I think these are all their hobbies, whatever this is, as well as some sort of. Is this a loom? This is a loom. This is for knitting. You can see all the different, strands there that you weave in and out.
Yeah.
These are all hobbies they're doing. Yeah, that's what she.
I like that theory. I like that. Yeah. Yep.
Can you see
I
my
agree.
mouse, by the way, Devin?
Yeah, I can see
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that propped up some I know Stream can, but yeah, okay. Perfect. Midlife crisis. I mean, why the hell would he wear this? Because she made it for him, or he made it.
And he's doing puzzles. I think that's maybe part of it too. He's doing like different.
And I swear this is a ventriloquist act because you can see that looks like that goes up and down.
It looks like it's at least it's. I think it's a puppet too, or like a weird, or maybe just a hand puppet even. But it does have that like shape of like a nutcracker has, where the mouth needs to go up and down. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
there's a lot of bread. There's bread. There's workout equipment.
I mean,
you got dumbbells over
there. Sourdough bread was such a big 2020 hobby for lockdown people.
Maybe that's honestly what inspired him. You gotta remember that this movie was probably being developed during COVID.
No, the second one was. Oh, okay, I guess post 2022.
No, I'm saying
yeah. But I feel like
people
that type of stuff
and all that stuff.
I feel like that type of stuff.
Also, why is that so blue?
Because they probably, and this is so green, they probably upped the saturation.
Also, I did see people talking about because there's posters of all the characters, and they were wearing these outfits. People think these are gun outfits, so maybe they join gun. Maybe they get so bored they join gun.
Well, we got to help out the boys.
I still think this is the beginning scene. I think that's a lock still of some sort.
New, obviously.
When I mean the beginning scene, I still think it's going to be Shadow breaking out. But
it will be this. I 100% agree. This is interesting.
So that's the UK. This is the UK. We know that they're together at this point in London. I just love that. On the left there, it's like such a great posture. I love it.
Right.
For his character.
I know people were like, because this was a Vanity Fair, had like an image from this little scene here, and they were like, "There's enough space to put one more." I
don't think
feel like it would be too cramped if you had someone else there. And who would you put?
It's an awkward. If you put Agent Stone right there, for example, then it's just an awkward frame.
Right, because then you have yeah.
This is fine. This is good framing. Like there's empty space there, but it's okay to have empty space.
Rouge the Bat, and we want Rouge the Bat, but people want like the surprise new character that they're not going to use for any marketing at all.
Yeah,
ever.
we could put Iron Man there, Ethan. Have we thought about that yet?
Yeah, the Hulk. Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah, I agree.
Pose.
So yeah, they're clearly hiding here, but when they find him, I feel like it was in here, but maybe
this shot was shown after they're like, "Oh, we gotta go talk to him," or whatever.
Yeah.
In the first trailer. So I think that just naturally implied to us. But now I'm thinking, well, you cause a big scene doing this, so maybe it wasn't this way, and this is the villain reveal of Team Up now. This is post Bad Guys Team Up. Robotnik.
But I like that both these trailers are showing two different things, because who knows? There might be a third thing we haven't thought of yet, you know what I mean, in terms of maybe there's a combination of both, which makes me excited because we've talked about this in the other stream many other times. is that like we don't like when trailers reveal like the first, second, and third act. And now I'm
sure.
more confused, which is a good thing. I'm like intrigued now, and I'm like, cool. We're at least getting the moon being destroyed.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out, it killed so many guys in Destroy All Humans 2 on this bridge, and this area too.
I guess it really is blue, like the bridge. I didn't know. It
I don't know.
has
Maybe
that like
IRL they gave it a paint job.
They must
recently.
have.
Okay, so hold
I love
on.
that. I love that suit, by the way.
This is first time we've seen Gerald in a suit like this. This is obviously we're on the Ark.
They're
So this is
astronaut kind of suit.
final plan here. Here is my big prediction. Now that we're seeing this, I love obviously the I almost said the Jim Carrey version. Jim Carrey's well. I like our Robotnik with the red version because that looks very much like the Sonic Adventure 2 and onwards. I feel like that's like there are minor tweaks I'm sure to that design, but that's the design moving forward. Here's my prediction. So I already mentioned, yes, I already mentioned, I think that Team Sonic's going to fight Shadow at the beginning, and then they're going to turn to Robotnik for help. And then at some point after that, he's going to meet his grandfather, realize he's alive. Maybe when him and Sonic are going to places to MacGuffin about, he stumbles into an old lab and they're separated, and and he goes with Gerald. And then we're doing this whole thing and whatnot. I don't know when this happens. But my prediction on this is a bold prediction, but I think a safe prediction, to be honest, if we wanted to make more of these movies and have Jim Carrey be in them still. I think that our Robotnik is going to realize that Gerald is taking things way too far, and actually he's got to be stopped. I bet that's like a last-minute turn of, like, hold the phone here. You want to destroy the world or something like that? Like, I mean, I can't rule the world if it's gone. You know what I mean? Like that.
I'm coming to a similar conclusion when we were talking about earlier of like, how are they teaming up, to what capacity? And I think at some point, one line that's kind of like they put it in the trailer, as a joke, but I kind of can see maybe a deeper meaning. Maybe that's not even the right words to use, but Robotnik says, Eggman says more specifically, like, oh, what evil, what's the line? It's like some evil plan is better when it's in the family or something like that. Or I think, I don't remember what the exact quote was, but it said in this trailer at the part where Knuckles throws the thing. And that's kind of, I'm like, I can see it being like, yeah, but your family also is just as evil as you,
if not more so.
And you've tricked Knuckles before, right? Like, let's say Gerald can't trick you because he's been around longer. He knows how to manipulate even better. And I think that's what's going to be. I don't think he's going to be a good guy necessarily, but I definitely can see like the two evils are like, hey, wait a minute. No, I want to be in charge. Wait, you're destroying the Earth. I want to, like you said, take over the Earth. Or it could be like, well, I want to take credit for it. No, it's my idea. And like, it could be something silly as that
put
too.
Robotnik on the name, it matches. Because like you don't build a giant space laser to not use it. I know that is some U.S. military general's justification for dropping the nukes on Japan, but like you can't use it you can't just have it be a deterrent. Because remember in Sonic Adventure 2, which is my favorite Sonic game, he blows up half the moon as a demonstration. But there is no thought beyond like, all right, so you blow us all up. You lose too now. Like, what do you mean? Like, you just lose. Like, you can't destroy the Earth. I think Gerald, who, again, is not in... I mean, it's funny playing Shadow Generations, and he is, like, the... in that game, and in the Sonic games, like, the... I wanted what was best, but I made all the wrong things, you know what I mean? He did make a giant space laser. Like... they never explained why he had a giant space laser. They just wanted to have a Death Star.
I'm okay at not being like Gerald Robotnik being a good guy.
Right. My point is that we've never had this version, so like, who knows? Like, but I think we kind of figured it out. I think because like he's not going to be in the fourth movie. This character is not going to be in the next one, right?
Yeah, I think he will die or be sent into space forever or something. Maybe not. I don't know if we'll ever kill anybody on screen. I know we've joked about that.
I think the ending
time,
of Sonic 2 is the closest we get to killing Robotnik, for instance, where like he should just be dead. He fell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like off screen, so to speak.
But I could see them being like gets the Iron Man in Infinity War kind of treatment, where he's just lost in space forever, and that's okay. And like, and then that leaves the door open. If you do want to bring him back, you have that card. But if not, it's a good way of saying, hey, he's gonna just live out his days in the middle of space, go crazy. Because that's kind of even how they, with even in the first Sonic movie, they did the same thing. Or they're like, okay, they sent Eggman to the Mushroom Planet, and it's like he's not dead. They show him, I'll get out of here, but like it ends it enough to where like if we don't make another movie, it's still satisfying. You know what I mean?
Right,
a little bit,
right.
So I can see it just being like same thing where like, oh, he's sent off into space,
Yeah,
and that's
at the very
like,
least, he's not returning in the next movie, so they need to have some sort of way for. Because who knows if Jim Carrey still wants to do it. I hope in his heart of hearts he still does. I feel like the Sonic movie that no longer has Jim Carrey's Robotnik in it is the downgrade, is the decline. I don't see them doing it as well, because your villain then is going to be some sort of CG monster or another Sonic character, and that isn't going to be as charming as having a human person in a lot of these scenes.
But or one of our, maybe, I know we said a prediction, but it was more of a want, was like, hey, we're okay with this movie not resolving, having like an ending.
True, we did our whole prediction.
So I'll say this.
Yeah.
I'll say this: if you get rid of the Robotniks in this movie, maybe Shadow does, and they get sent to space, and the laser does do, like, let's say, even just enough. I mean, in real life, if he did any damage to the moon, we'd be completely fucked. But for the sake of this movie, maybe they do destroy something important. Maybe they don't kill anybody, but like it messes up the Earth enough to where it's like, oh, we got to do something. But we need to fight Shadow, and like that's how the next movie would pick up, which is just it's them and Shadow, and then you can give Eggman or Jim Carrey be like, hey, you don't need to be in this next one because we can just focus on Shadow in the next movie completely.
True. Yeah, if you want a bigger break.
I'll say on the caveat, I agree with what you're saying, but I just saying I on the caveat of that, I think you could make a thing where it's like, hey, we can have them not die, but we can just put them away for now out in space until they run into chaos or something. And then there you go, and then you have the Thanos meeting Loki.
Shit again. I will say this. I do find it funny. My perception on the Jim Carrey character has changed from before the first movie came out. I'm like, I don't know. Do we really want him? And now I'm like, the movie's going to suck if he's not in it now. You know what I mean? Like, that's changed for me all these 4 years
he's
later.
Him, dude.
Yeah, and I might as well bring this up now. I think it's smart writing, at least in terms of plot, of getting characters in certain spots. The laser only works, so to our knowledge, if Shadow's powering it up. So in any scene where Sonic gets Shadow to fight him, the Earth is safe for now, type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, they can't get shot.
I think the final, I was gonna say, I mean, I know we and we just talked about too about like how we won't know the different acts, and I'm not like entirely confident, but I think the third act I think has got to be in space, because that's just a good way to end it. I think have the final battle be in space.
Do we think
even if it's resolved or not
in this movie, or do you think that's too much? Or just like too much is in a like we have a bunch of elements going on.
That's a good question,
because Supersonic could just fly through the whole thing and destroy it. You know what I mean?
I really don't want that to be. This is no offense to people who like Supersonic. I think Supersonic's lame as fuck most of the time. I think it's just I'm kind of like, it's cool as a one-off thing, but like every game kind of ends that way, right? The last couple.
That's why we like all the Sonic Chaos Frontiers, Emeralds, where it was like a thing throughout that you're like trying to build back up to being able to turn into Goku. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just a boss fight.
I personally don't like it. Don't like it conceptually for Sonic. I like Sonic as just Sonic. I don't need him to be like, he needs to be a certain power level to beat things. I think he should just be good enough to figure out a way or learn a way to do it with his friends or whatever. But I'll point to my favorite thing that has similar elements of that, which is Godzilla. In a lot of his movies, he needs to be built up in a certain way, get to a certain power level, whether it's
to shoot his breath,
to shoot a more powerful beam or something, or whatever it is. Will he just figure out a new way of doing supersonic without calling it supersonic or looking like supersonic that is original, but just, or maybe an homage to something?
Obviously,
you know what I mean?
We know supersonic is just based off of Goku and Vegeta going Super Saiyan, and I haven't watched any of Dragon Ball Super, but I know they then there's higher levels and there's color tiers and stuff like that.
Maybe there's
an 8th emerald, and this one, that's how you get to Supersonic 2 or something.
And I don't want that personally. I think it's cheesy, but we gotta remember at the end of the day, this is a kid's movie where you can get away with...
It's a kid's movie where a girl gets shot, and I guarantee you this is him watching it right here, because he's all dirty.
I don't think she's gonna get shot. Here you go, I'm gonna say it. I don't think she's gonna get shot. I think he's gonna find her dead. And this will be I guess we just said earlier too, to contradict ourselves, that no one will ever die in these movies, but I think he'll find her body, and it's implied. He's not gonna be like, oh, she's dead. It's just gonna be she's not moving, and it's just gonna be a quick cutaway. I don't think they're gonna spend too much of her actually being dead, but I think they'll do flashbacks for him, and then you'll see her alive, obviously. But I don't think there's gonna be like,
just looks so good. He's got white gloves, and the whole thing is perfect.
They've really they did it in a good way, I think, of slowly getting to making it more cartoony. If he looked like this in the first movie, I think it would have been cheesy. You know what I mean?
We would have loved it because it is what he looks like in the games, but I agree it would have looked more out of place for what that movie was. A movie where you shoot a laser at the moon is different for sure. Oh wait, is it the...
That's actually the same... Oh, that's crazy. That's the same...
arc. So
no,
the thing that rises is the arc.
Yeah.
I think that's us realizing this now.
No, I was saying, I was making a joke of it was Spider-Man Far From Home that he was.
Well, I was having a.
It's gonna have that scene where he's on the bus. No, I thought that was the arc from before, because I'm pretty sure that the things come out of it. It's just in it. It's like UFO.
But I also mean was it really this close?
When it's rising on the water.
Yeah, this.
Yeah, I thought that was the arc from before. I knew it was going to space.
Thingies, but I guess I just assumed this was Eggman's base, because obviously we all know from
or maybe
the game,
it goes in.
The
maybe
arc
it goes
is really
into
big.
a bigger. It goes into a bigger vessel that becomes the arc.
That could be.
And also, sense of scale changes sometimes in movies, and you just got to roll with it.
This is Shadow. So we heard this voice line, the beginning of this voice line, in the first trailer, but Shadow saying, "When it's all done, there'll be nothing left." And he continues this line here. Let's actually pull back and play it. I want to hear it again.
When we're done, there won't be anything left to rule.
To rule. And so I'm thinking this is where he's not departing from them, but they're not on the same page. Shadow wants ultimate revenge and destroying everyone, but maybe our young Jim Carrey Robotnik actually he's like, I want to rule the place, and I still think Gerald is probably on a closer page to Shadow maybe than he is to Sonic.
Maybe a spectrum of evil here.
I think this is this thing docking into a bigger thing. I think you're right.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the bottom, but maybe I don't know. It's also like I said,
it's upside down. Jesus.
I love how it cuts through it too. It isn't just because in the game, isn't it just he shoots a laser at it and it just blows up a chunk?
Yeah, it's impacting the thing, and that's causing it.
This is scarier to me than just the Death Star. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because this implies it's unstoppable.
Because if my planet, if Earth is gonna get shot with anything, at least the Death Star will be quick. It'll be over like that. If a laser cut
instability and
if a laser cut through a planet, any part of the latitude or longitude, doesn't matter if it was just the top, shaved off a top of the planet,
right?
It would just be an awful 6 hours
And
of
even-
just like you said, gravity being
Right.
fucked up and just
Let's say we just
everything.
shave the top 3% off of the North Pole. Like that's the cut, right?
Yeah,
3%.
it still would be fucked.
I think we
we'd
would
spin out of
live. I think
control.
we would live, but
I don't
our
know.
children's generation isn't going to have a normal year at the best. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to have 365
I think we would be
days.
moved by our access.
Right, we would be slowly
we'd be
moved
spinning.
away from like the sun or something like that. We would be gone, but like we would be alive for our lives.
Yeah,
which
I'd
is-
much rather get blown up by the Death Star, which is just instant 3
Right.
seconds. Oh shit, and that's it. You know what I mean? That's all I feel. Instead of like the potential of surviving and being thrown off into space slowly is scary to me.
It's December. Are
Yeah,
they
'cause
holding
that-
hands? Why? Here's the thing. We all made fun of when Sonic kissed that woman in Sonic 06, but are we okay with Shadow being with a 7-year-old?
They're just friends.
They're
This is
holding
what-
hands.
That's what you,
Devin, you and
said
I
that
have
in-
never held hands.
Do you want to? Now the ball's in your court. You handsome.
I'm doing it right now, and you're not.
I can't see. I
Oh
can't. I'm
my
delayed.
God.
Sorry.
Whatever. I held it. Joke is over. Now I just saw this and I'm like, because like when we played Shadow Generations earlier this year, you can watch the stream. Yeah, there's okay. You say that they're siblings in chat. I see that. I see that you said that, and I can understand that reference. However, your sibling doesn't name you, and that's what happened in the Shadow
Could you
Generations.
imagine?
She
You're
says,
like,
"I named
you're
you
my
Shadow,"
baby
and she
brother,
says some
Shadow.
stupid nonsense about the opposite of light being necessary and whatever. Whatever.
By the
But,
way, this is I don't think this is a flashback. This is like in the movie Gladiator when it gets darker and it's just them actually seeing the afterlife.
I was gonna say this,
this
is
is
like
her- this is her
Endgame,
telling-
and this is in there in the Soul Stone realm.
Yeah,
or whatever.
this is her telling her, actually, you're right. You do need to kill everybody,
Jesus.
and then you'll see me again.
Because like he was like
Yeah.
he's like a Mewtwo, right? He's been created and shit, blah blah blah. So he has a mommy complex for this child. But then when we get into modern age, he's well over 50. Not physically, because I'm sure they suspended him.
He's old enough to drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We get this, and we get the flip around where he's like, "Oh, I see. It's broken on the top." I was gonna make fun of it, be like, "How did he
Something
get
in
out
the
if
way.
it was just cracked?" But obviously, this is the other side. When do we? Oh, I see. That's Knuckles. This is probably after.
Sonic does look cute here.
This is
by the
probably
way.
after defeat, and then Knuckles is like, "We got to pull together," or this is at the beginning.
We gotta pull together, or we're gonna die.
Right. He's like, "Oh, you're my friend." But we are not at the point where we call each other brothers yet, but we live at
But
the
here's
same
the thing.
house.
Here's the thing. If worse comes worse, they can teleport. They got the rings. They can get out.
Yeah, there are other livable planets.
They're fine.
Oh, we didn't even think about that. What
do
if
they
Gerald's
kill
like,
off Earth?
we're gonna
They
just
kill off
we're not,
Earth.
They're not gonna do that, but what if that is the plan? Like, there are other places we can go to.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Because I
And
don't
maybe,
want that.
and then maybe
I don't want
maybe
that.
Gerald's like, yeah, we're gonna go to Mushroom World, and then Eggman's like, no, I've been there. It sucks ass. I want Earth to
Right,
control.
right.
That you can take that one. I want Earth, so please don't destroy it.
Yeah,
Oh, weird. That's the
cornfield.
same field in Interstellar. That's crazy. Crazy reference.
Where the corn's all shitty. Or
But it's real. It's real.
Or the
corn,
field,
Glee.
the cornfield from Logan, where the corn is all. I think that's how they justified that there are no mutants growing, because all the corn is getting rid of that gene or something like that. It's
Yeah, it's like in the
yeah,
food.
Yeah.
And that's why RFK is gonna. I need to get rid of that, so
Oh,
we,
we
can
wouldn't have corn.
mutants.
If
We need to get rid of the pesticides.
RFK is going to make sure we don't have like an agriculture like
the
sector of
fluoride's
this
making
country.
everyone into Wolverine.
Everything needs to be so natural that we can't support feeding our people. All right, hold
Obviously,
on. I want to
the-
look at him on the bike first.
Oh my god, is that a Triumph? I don't know.
That would
I
be
can't
funny
tell.
if it
If
oh,
there was a
wait, no.
branded like more,
Triumph is famous. I thought you were referring to
a Honda, maybe a Honda.
I thought you were referring to Keanu Reeves' motorcycle company.
I mean, it could be an Arch. I don't. see his logo on it. I do follow them on
This
Instagram.
is probably
so.
just me. I mean, who knows? Is this?
Who- I
close
mean,
to
I
what
don't
the
know.
bike thing that they flew around the country, and then said that was equivalent to the year of
I
Luigi.
think it is.
And then all the people on TikTok were mad at us for saying, hey, this isn't as big of a deal as when Nintendo did it.
Look at his shoes, by the way. Look at like I know it's blurry, but it still looks real. Makes me wonder if it's like the shoe maybe is real, and then everything else
Well,
is.
remember
like,
when we had our
CG.
teaser, they have all the stand-ins, and there
I
was
wonder if that's what
we
that
saw
is.
Shadows. Like they didn't physically make this, like they physically made them.
Yeah. And that car crash you see is this, like we said earlier, is the same car crash from Tokyo Drift. People don't realize that this all happens in the same universe because it is original
Absolutely.
film. They can do that. It could be canon.
They also said Pokemon, so they can also just say this is where Han died. I would respect the hell out of them. They said, I don't want to go. If Sonic's like, I don't want to go to the place Han died at. You know what I mean? All right, this is clearly some sort of like a taser or laser or like electric type discharging gun.
Yeah, it's unfortunately
I
not
highly
a
doubt
deagle,
it's not a. Yeah, it's not a deagle. But it's also I don't think it's a rail gun. Because that's what generally rail guns are shaped like.
It's the Dead Space gun that cuts limbs off.
Jesus.
That'd be awesome.
This is gonna be some sort of taser, and he's barely gonna use it in like the following scene at all. This is just them.
He's gonna
wanting to
shoot
be
it
like,
at Sonic and miss.
We want to have him
And
hold
get
the gun
disarmed.
because that is what people want to see. But even Sega's like he's not getting any guns anymore. So I wasn't
It's lame.
expecting this, so it's cool.
They're cowards.
As we'll take a out of this as well. Perfect.
It's a good thumbnail right there. That might be the thumbnail.
I think.
for
Well, I think
our
it's what
review episode or
everyone's
something.
freaking using right now. But got some ray tracing going on. See now,
Right.
I'm gonna throw this out there. You got this big pinkish purple reflection. However, what's he reflecting? Oh, actually, he should be filled with blue. This is what's supposed to be in front of him. So this movie gets 75 sins.
You're right. Good call. And this is just the trailer, actually. Then we're not even until the whole movie comes out.
He says, He says, the more you talk, the more I wanna
Punch
your
you.
face. Wait, what?
What?
Um,
No. You're making me flustered.
How does he go up?
Beam, dude. He's just beaming. Don't worry about it. This is just cool shit. Don't think about it too much.
Wait. So we've seen a lot of Sonic's nose, and it kind of always just looks like a thing. But here we can really see nostril.
Did you got the Who knows
Ugh.
from the Grinch and stuff?
No, I understood when you said the Who. I didn't think you were talking
I
about the
didn't-
band.
Oh, I'm just making sure.
Unless
Because they're known for their noses.
I was gonna say, is there a fucked up nose I'm not aware of? Oops.
Okay, so Agent Stone is back on the ground here. Does he get ditched again?
Probably, dude. Hey, maybe that's a part of the Robotnik turnaround, Because remember that he does this to him in the second movie with Knuckles.
Maybe
then
but maybe
when it's
Agent
not his
Stone finally
control-
flips though. Maybe Agent Stone finally flips, like permanently. He's
And
like,
that
I'm
is
tired.
part of what makes Robotnik be like that. I don't like what my grandfather is doing to me.
No, I'm saying that Agent Stone just separately from all that. He's like, I'm done. I'm done being evil. I'm tired of waiting for my guy. My guy just quickly ditches me all the time. Like that's
And I think
I shaved
Robotnik
his head.
sees this, and this is what maybe not as the full catalyst, but the creeping of like, hey, am I doing what's right for me? You know what I mean?
Mm.
God, I hate when you double click and YouTube's like, you want to go full screen? I know we tell you could press the exit escape key. Interesting, just to point out.
Mustafar, another Star Wars reference here.
No Gerald here, so it's just our Robotnik. Does this imply
Maybe
anything?
we have it flipped, Ethan. Maybe Gerald is the good one, and he's more chaotic evil at this point. He's just going for
Yeah, I
the
mean,
kill
it
count.
is
He's going for that
possible.
KD.
Yeah, what do you think's happening? Do you think this is,
Earth or a different planet, maybe?
but also like this rip in the Earth? Is this like post a laser?
Maybe it's on the moon.
It's-
I mean, I don't think the moon has a core though, so that wouldn't make any sense.
These are a frame apart.
Hell yeah.
Very interesting.
Could that lava be they bring what's his name? The one boss there in Sonic Adventure?
That's Sonic 06.
Maybe that's what Gerald's unlocking, dude. Iblis is in the core.
We're not going to turn into those types of YouTubers that do not understand how filmmaking works. Like they think.
What if it's
Marvel
bigger
movie
than
stuff.
we even think?
Yeah.
All right.
What if this crazy cool reveal,
Watch it actually be
which would
Iblis,
be
though,
in
and then-
crazy marketing, but we're not going to use it in any marketing. Like, here's the thing: like, there is
Because it's
going to
gonna be the
no
reveal.
surprise
It's gonna
characters
be the reveal.
until post credits. Because
And that's who it's gonna be. It's
otherwise,
gonna be Iblis.
they would
It's
use
gonna
it
be
in
Iblis.
marketing. Sure, maybe. And actually, I could see that being like.
Now this will be fun.
Iblis says that.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
Oh my God, YouTube.
Bro, just press space.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is for the Christmas marketing. They threw
Gerald
this in.
and
Ivan?
Ivo. Well, his name is Ivo Robotnik.
So I like
wait,
the idea that might be someone
there's
else.
no other family members.
He's
just
a
the two
single-
of them.
He's the
Single
dad who
grandpa?
stepped up.
He's a
Sing-
grandpa.
He's a
Yeah.
single grandpa who stepped up.
But of course, this is it's obviously a jokey recreation, so that wasn't, super serious. All right,
Yeah.
why don't we? I think we basically talked about most of it, but Devin, oh shoot, I gotta do squares to circles now. Devin, I
Yeah.
want to ask you a very, very, very important question. A question I think only you were able to answer. So I'm just gonna go out straight up and just ask it. I'm just gonna ask it.
Alrighty.
And I know you talked about elements, and I think I know the way you're gonna lean on this. You know what I mean? But do you think anybody dies in this movie? Like, I don't know you would kind of answer that, but I'm gonna ask it like this: do you think there is a threat of, hey, Sonic, if you go down this path, you're gonna get Tails dead? Maybe we have a reflection of that with, like, the way Gerald might be leading Ivo Robotnik, you know what I mean? And Ivo makes a choice, perhaps, like we're kind of maybe thinking, against his grandfather, maybe towards the end of this movie. But do you think that there's going to be a moment where, like, hey, Sonic's realizing that, like, I'm going to get my friends killed? And would that happen?
I don't think I think it's gonna be, if anyone dies, it's gonna be off screen or implied. I don't think we're gonna show anyone dying. I think at most you might see, like I said, Maria on the ground, and then Shadow being like, shedding some tears, like that scene right there. Well, sorry, you're still sharing screen, so people can't see that. But he was kind of getting emotional, right? I think you might see that. I just feel like this movie's rated PG, man. I don't know what the
Yeah.
rules are with the the rating system with, like,
Well, you love your Lion King. You
death.
love it more than Sonic the Hedgehog. His dad dies, gets stomped to death.
but he's a tiger or a lion or whatever.
And there's
So,
the
like,
hedgehog.
I don't think any of the characters can be killed because they aren't killable.
Right.
In terms
I'm
of, like, the,
talking more
the
about,
furry
like,
characters.
Like, they're really doing the threat. Like, there's a jokiness of, like, oh yeah, we're fighting, and then there's obviously there's a bad ending to that, but we're not gonna do that. But you really
No,
think
yeah,
there's gonna be, like,
I don't.
Tails is dying sort of thing, but he doesn't. You know what I mean? Do we get?
I mean,
we're gonna see
Sonic
it that
was
bad.
dying in the second one in a way in that cage. So, like, I think that's the level of dying, I guess, you'll see from our furry friends. But I could see them being like in terms of, I mean, the threat level is the laser. I think, like, the world is at threat, and I think even Agent Stone being on the ground, realizing, oh shit, I helped contribute to this. I think that's the threat. And maybe they do blow up a city. I think that is at most you're getting. I think a city is blown up, but I feel like that laser will just cut a hole right through the earth. So maybe not in that way, but
Right. I mean, what would
um,
stop if the slicing?
I think
through
maybe
the
maybe
moon-
Shadow destroys the city, and it's like, they won't say anyone died, but if people our age will be like, people probably died. I mean, we said in the first movie people probably died in San Francisco with the amount of lasers and stuff that were
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, missiles.
So, and missiles
just
and
falling
whatnot.
like building pieces would have hurt someone.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, like the giant Death Egg robot at the end of the second movie, like I mean, come on.
Yeah. So no, I'm gonna stand by. I guess the short answer is no one's gonna die, but I think there will be people who get really hurt. I think Knuckles and Tails will definitely get their ass kicked at some point, and then it's just gonna be Shadow versus Sonic, and maybe Shadow wins, but then maybe Sonic says something to him. Maybe something he'll do the thing where like Sonic says the name, not says the name, says a line that Maria had told him like verbatim, and it like triggers a thought in his head. Be like, oh shit, Maria did say we shouldn't kill people.
Right. You do the Martha thing.
So I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on it.
I still think there's going to be a point where Sonic is maybe frustrated that no matter what he does, it's not working, out. Shadow's still better or whatever. I think there's a moment, this mainly from that first trailer, where Sonic is making a choice to do something, probably taking things a step too far, even if that's just going on his own to fight Shadow. And his friends, Tails, at least in that trailer, the first trailer, telling him it's a bad idea, and Sonic basically choosing to do it anyway. I think that is going to be a thing, and I think that might be part of his kind of maybe little story arc of it isn't just about, making the right choices, it's about, being a leader, which is sometimes harder than just being by yourself to do things.
They shoot missiles, by the way. Sorry, if folks can't see it, but we do have the trailer in the background. I just wanted to say, maybe you're with people getting hurt. They did shoot missiles into a cafe filled with kids. So
they can hide
maybe
behind the chows, and the chows, which aren't people.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything else we want to talk about? I feel like we did a lot of our predictions during the reaction itself, and
it's a little bit more confusing, but in terms of maybe where the set pieces are and how quick we're getting to them. But I like that. This is what I want from a trailer, where I'm like, cool, I'm looking forward to that set piece. I still think the final act was kind of shown in this, but I feel like it was shown in the first one, where it's going to be in space in some capacity, but I don't know who's fighting who and why they're fighting who, and I think that's good. Compared to the past trailers with Sonic Movie 2 and the first Sonic movie, more so Sonic Movie 2, where we knew that mech was going to be at the end. We called it, and we were like kind of disappointed that it was at the end. Like, yeah, it was cool, but like we're like, okay, we got the final reveal, which it would have been, I think, cooler if we didn't know it was coming.
At the very least, this isn't as obvious of, okay, the big mech thing is just what he's gonna fight, and we could just picture that. Here, this is a little bit more amorphous of like, what exactly does fighting this thing mean? Are they going to split up and Tails has to go into engineering ducts and Knuckles has got to do this? Like, we at least don't know how they're going to do...
Or how they even get there.
That final thing. Yeah, I mean, they could just be hitching a ride.
I think they hitch a ride with Agent Stone and Eggman, maybe. Maybe that's that one scene we see of them getting introduced. Maybe it's that. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't work because of the hair thing.
They could always change that, though. They could always change that. That might have just been for the first trailer.
I don't know. I kind of doubt that.
I agree. But I agree with you. I don't know. We'll see. But that's what makes this exciting, I think, is that like I'm not entirely sure now, like how quick we're getting from one set piece to the other, and in what order some of them are, and what alliances are there, if any. I think the one thing I guess to me I think is I'm curious still about is they didn't show it all, and I'm happy if they saving it for the movie itself, which is how are the Chaos Emeralds involved, if at all, in this? Still,
right.
That's still our question that we've been asking, and we don't really have anything.
I would be okay if they're not at all.
But they did show it in the end of Sonic Movie 2. But at the same time, they make every movie with an end goal of like, here's the script. They're not thinking too far in the future. We've talked about this.
We wouldn't want to have the Emeralds be a MacGuffin in every single one of these. We would hate that. But it is cool when Shadow has one of them, so he can do his chaos control and whatnot. But at the same time, the way the second movie wrapped it up, the Chaos Emeralds are all wrapped up inside the Master Emeralds, so we'd have to break that thing again. You know what I mean? So,
but yeah, whatever. It's I'm okay with they kind of forget it. I mean, I think they can't just be like, oh yeah, shit, we forgot about that. I think they got to do
Iblis
something. But
comes out, then yeah, we there. That's the thing we're gonna jump to, sure. But this seems more manageable without, and I do like. I'm a fan of when stories that take place over multiple books, movies, etc. have a thing that's like, well, you shouldn't really be able to time travel because now you just ruined every future story, right? And having those future stories just pretend it like that's not a thing anymore and just move on because yeah, here's a story without the Chaos Emeralds. That's fine. You know what I mean?
or
We
I
don't
think
need to go supersonic.
maybe he does supersonic really early on, and he still gets his ass kicked for some reason, and they're like, "Wow, we don't need these anymore."
Or maybe they're like, "Hey, it would be worse if Shadow got them, so why don't we just not introduce these in the first place?"
And this would be maybe, I don't know if this is lame. Maybe I'll get your thoughts on it. What if they're just like, "Oh yeah, you can only do that once every like."
That would be lame
Couple
because you would have to
years.
say that before you use them in the previous movie. And that reminds me of when in the second movie they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, this map Sonic had in the Pouch of Rings all of a sudden suddenly glows in as a secret message that was never intended with the first movie, but they used it retroactively in the second movie.
Yeah.
That's the same
I don't
kind of
know.
thing that I hate.
I don't know. I'm sure they
folks-
talked about it, and we'll see what they do with it. So
Folks at home, let us know what you think in the comments below on this VOD if you weren't watching live with us. But thank you nonetheless. And there's a like button, there's a subscribe button, there's a bell. Ignore the bell. At least do those first two things. You don't need to do all three. This is our compromise. Ignore the bell, just like and subscribe. Yes, just videos and streams and all sorts of content on the channel. I hate that word, content, but we're everywhere and we're on all the places, and you love us and we love you. So as we always like to say, Hachi